Great morning and happy July the 4th, Motivational Monday. We have the freedom to do this call on a holiday. Isn't that something? So glad to have you on the line. You've got Cynthia Reed co hosting, bringing you into the view. Variety of ideas to enhance your wealth. Who we have out there? Heard y'all coming in like fireworks today. So let's see who's out there and tell us who you are. Where are you coming from? Great morning, Kristen. Happy holiday to you. Who else do we have on the line today? Oh, North Carolina ribs. I can smell them now. How y'all doing today? Wonderful, Sister Green. Who else do we have on the line? Where are you calling from? Willie from Cleveland. Hey, good to hear you, sir. We know the ribs and the coals and the gas grills and whatever else you got to smoke meat on is going to smoke up your whole neighborhood. Yes, sir. Good to have y'all. Who else do we have this morning? You've dialed into the view, and we're so glad to have you. Say your name. Tell us where you're calling from. What's up? Don't make me do my Martin imitation. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh. Mr. Reed said, don't do that. Oh, yeah, he knows 46 and a half years ago, he knew. He knew what he was getting his hands on, and I ain't changed. I just got worse. All right. I'm just so glad. I'm happy, guys. I'm exuberantly happy. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about freedom in a different kind of way today. So, if you're out there and you've already said your name, please state your name, where you're calling from, and hit *6 so we can get a clear call. Mute yourself out after you've done so. Who else do we have on the line this morning? We got a couple of minutes to go before we start this call, and we're so glad to have you here on The View this morning. Variety of ideas to enhance your wealth. We just want to know your name and where you're calling from. It's just been absolutely excellent today. And we're just glad to, like I said, be able to be in a nation where we can exercise our right to VOTE. Now, let's not be lax about that, because if we don't vote, we don't count. And even if they try not to count it, we still got to vote and make our voices heard. And that is our privilege and our blessing. So, again, please state your name. Let us know where you're calling from. We got a few minutes, actually 1 minute left to go on this line before we start this call. You just joined us. We heard a ding. So please let us know who you are and where you are calling from. We appreciate your presence on the line. We sure would love to know who you are. Just state your first name and let us know where you're calling from.
Good morning. This is Michelle with Miami.
Great morning, Michelle with 2 L's. And we heard the queen come in from South Beach or North Miami or wherever she is. But she's the queen of Miami. Whether y'all don't know, y'all just don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Vashti.
Happy Independence Day.
Great morning. Happy Independence Day to you. We heard a few more folks come in before we get this call started. So kindly grace us with your name and where you're calling from, if you don't mind.
Good morning, Cynthia. Denise from the mountains of Virginia. Happy 4th of July to you.
Great morning. Mountains of Virginia. You're not in Denise in D.C. You Denise in the DMV, but that's still good. So glad to have you.
I am she. I'm just not there.
Oh, okay. Well, we know where you can find it on the map. We got Google Maps, so we all good. Yes, ma'am. All right, we have a few seconds, actually, since it does say 7:30 a.m. according to the so-called official artificial intelligence clock. So please let us know. One more shout out to who you are and where you're calling from. We'd love to hear your name.
Good morning, Nick and Ann Brown, Acton, Maryland.
There they are in the DMV area. So glad to have you, Nick and Ann Brown, the Warriors. And we're going to go ahead and honor the last person who jumped in here before we start this call.
Good morning. This is Beata Petty in Chicago.
Oh, we know they smoking ribs up in Chicago. Yes, ma'am. So glad to have you on the line. And turkeys if you happen to be vegan. Yeah, green peppers and all that other stuff if you're vegan. You know, those are just side items like with the coleslaw. But we're so
Yes,
glad to
they
have
are.
y'all. All right. We're going to go on and get this call started. One moment, please.
Entry and exit tones are on.
Great morning and happy Motivational Monday, i.e., Independence Day. This is The View, variety of ideas to enhance your wealth. We are so very happy to have you all on the line. My name is Cynthia Reed, and we are out of the Muncie, Indiana zone, little burb called Yorktown, about 45 minutes north of Indianapolis. And we want to also say welcome and happy Independence Day to those catching the replay of this call. Now, here on The View, we explore a variety of ideas to spark your motivation, your leadership, give you winning ways to help you thrive and level up, to rise like a firecracker way up in the sky or a drone, to become the weekend warrior in your Surge 365 business as well as in your life. Whatever else it is that God has purpose for you to do. Today, y'all know what day it is. It's that extra day where people don't have to go into work unless they work at a convenience store. It is July the 4th, 2022, and it's my great honor to present to you a gentleman who is the captain of the ship here at this house, Mr. Kenneth Reed. He is a multiple $1,000 bonus earner and has been working with Surge 365 founders for 16 and a half years. He's also a team builder, which that's a pretty good category to be in, and business leader who is recognized and respected and just so humble. I have to say so myself. I'm telling the truth. It's like really so many people recognize him in our company that we haven't even met before, and we know them, but we don't know them like haven't sat down and split a rack of ribs with them or anything. But he's recognized and respected by many of the people, the leaders, and even the folks looking at being part of this business in this company. This gentleman is a retired educator. He taught for 34 years and he's still smiling. He's a dad, a granddad. He's a personal coach. He's an awesome listener. And he's been married to me for 46 and a half years. And he has a birthday coming up. And he doesn't look his age, but sometimes he takes naps in the afternoon. But we want to go ahead and let y'all know the topic today while he gets started is going to be about freedom, a different kind of way. Mr. Reed, take it away.
Well, first of all, I want to once again thank my lovely bride of 46 years. Yes, we've been together 46 years, just having a great time. We've built our family, we've traveled together, we're building our business together. And then we want to also thank all of you who got up this morning and dialed into the view. Now, we're going to talk about freedom today. You know, and the interesting thing about freedom, oh man, I know everybody's excited about today because we get a chance to have some great food. I mean, I'm thinking about barbecue. Yeah, barbecue is one of those great things that we have. But you know what? We're also looking and probably thinking about fireworks. Now, I have a bit of different take on that as I look at fireworks. I think they're great to look at. You know, but I also think about this. Look at all that money going up in smoke. You know, just look at all that money going up in smoke. And people don't think about it. And then I think, guess what? You know, we could take that money and do a lot of good for a lot of people here in this world. So, but anyway, we're going to move on and we're going to get started here, kick this thing off. I'm going to let my lovely wife, I'm going to let her start things off.
Well, I tell you what, y'all. If you haven't figured it out by now, or if you don't know or I haven't told you, I'm kind of covert about it, but ever since the 1980s, I've been writing poetry. It was brave enough for somebody to push me out on a stage about 15 years after that. And so what happens is that as a writer, and I've self-published a couple of books, but this is not about me, but I didn't give myself the freedom to express my own personality through my writing, the gift that God gave me. A lot of people said it, but I held myself in bondage. And when you hold yourself in bondage, sometimes you just don't get a chance to experience the greatness in you. And that's what I came up with when I heard this quote by a gentleman. He's a poet himself. And he has this quote on freedom that says, "Freedom is nothing but a chance to be better." Let me say that one more time. Freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. Mr. Reed, what do you think that Albert was talking about when he penned that?
Well, a lot of times you'll hear people say freedom isn't free. What they're saying is freedom is going to cost you something. Now, when you think about that, freedom is a chance to be better. A lot of times people sell themselves short. They have a chance or an opportunity to be better. Just like we do in this business, we have an opportunity to be better. Now, some people will come into this business and their self esteem tells them, well, I can't speak like other people. I'm not a good salesperson. But truthfully, all of us can speak. We don't need to compare ourselves to other people. We just need to understand that if we'll open our mouth and do the things that we need to do, just little things to be better every day. As we think about freedom in this country, this is a great place to live. There are, other places we wouldn't want to be. Now, that doesn't mean, though, that because this is a great place to live, that everything is the way it ought to be. Cynthia earlier mentioned it's really important to use your power to vote. And I think in using your power to vote, Cynthia, it's just you got to be aware of what's going on in the world around you. And we all have our take on what's right and what should be done and what we need to have done. Okay? But no one will ever know if you don't use your voice, if you don't step up and you don't speak up. So we're going to step up and we're going to speak up because we know our freedom's not free, but we don't take it for granted. We're willing to do the things we have to do because every day of freedom is your chance to be better. Cynthia?
And freedom can be so easily taken away when it's taken for granted. I'm going to say that one more time. Freedom can be so easily taken away when it's taken for granted or when you don't know where you've come from. There is so much history out there about our people, and folks talk reparations and all kind of things. I'm not one to talk about that. That's an individual's personal right, but we could all use a little bit more money, right? So here's the thing. If a person just looks at their current situation, like I did a video yesterday, I had all my garden garb on, hair wrapped up, just out there looking very plain and very country. And I had some plants, and no matter how much water I put on them, they would not thrive. It's like the heat has been so relentless. And the front of our garden bed for the flowers, it comes up on the east side of the planet. And I said, I watered y'all. What happened? And sometimes you can give a person so much support and so much help, but there's something, and I've read, and I can't remember exactly where it was, but here's the gist of it all. You can't argue with reality. You can't argue. If a person's going to feel, I'm not worth it, I don't care how much motivation you give them, unless they grasp the thought, the idea that I can be free to travel, I can be free to add to my income, I can be free to help my family, I can be free to fix some of these repairs around the house, I can be free to do whatever it is that I can do to maybe help some other organization with extra money or extra time, instead of you having to be at the job whenever you don't want to be at the job, in order to be able to just thrive and flourish. And we talk about that all week long, to motivate, to be a leader. And a leader, not a big time leader, but just a leader is to be a hero to somebody by maybe just saying, hey, take this grocery cart. I'm done with it. Wipe it down with sanitizer still because there's still stuff out there. And I'm thinking, even a smile. Be free to smile at people. Everybody's all vaxxed up, hopefully, but the deal is, whether you're vaxxed or not, people can read your eyes. And it's like when we were at dinner the other day with our daughter, Kenny. The little babies that were sitting around, they just looking hi, and some couldn't talk yet, and they just waving. I said, Kenny, why don't people feel free enough to express their happy side like that? Why are people so bunched up? What do you think?
Well, I can't tell you why people are so. Actually, I can tell you why people are so bunched up. It's really important to know who you listen to and to know who you follow. And nowadays, with communications, we got the news by way of television. You got things by way of radio. So there's all kind of ways you can communicate. You get on your cell phone and you pick up news and information. Well, we got to understand the people that are delivering that. Most of them are just there doing what they get paid to do. And so that's why they'll have loops that go again and again and again. You think, oh, well, they made a mistake. I already heard that. They played that again. Well, they do that intentionally. They do it over and over again because, if we do things long enough, it starts to get embedded in the minds of people that are listening to it. So if you tell the truth over and over again, some people actually pick up on the truth. Of course, then again, some have actually studied and discovered, well, if you lie long enough and you're consistent with your lies, people will start to believe you. So we got to think about it. We always have an opportunity. Freedom gives us an opportunity to decide who we're going to follow, who we're going to listen to, who we want to be. And that means sometimes, once again, we have to come to the conclusion that in this world, we have to step up and we have to make things happen. And if we don't, if we sit by the wayside and we stay silent, things are going to happen anyway. But once again, your input will not be received. So sometimes when you lose freedoms, it's because you sit there and you said nothing. You stood around and you did nothing. Understand, as we celebrate this day, this Independence Day, well, you're only going to be independent as long as you're willing to stand up, speak up, and be that person that leads. Be that person that has a backbone that says, hey, God put me in this world, and guess what? I'm going to inhale my share of the oxygen. Back to you, Cynthia.
That's what your mother said. I'm telling you, it's just awesome. The things that we're rooted in and the beliefs that we have is really, really important. And just like Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man or a woman thinks, so is he or she. I threw the she part in, but man as in humankind. And if we don't think the right things, if we have stinking thinking, then you're not going to bloom like God wants us to bloom. So we are so glad again to be able to talk about that freedom. Mr. Albert Camus saying it's a chance to be better. Now, today's replay is going to be 712-432-1085, and the PIN number is the same, dialing into the view 261-118#. I don't know what the champion level up people are going to be doing, but normally on Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, they are on the same dial-in number as the View, which is 667-770-1523, and then enter the PIN 474053#. Push come to shove, just do the replay, if nothing else, which is 712-432-1085, and the PIN number for the champion level up call. And that would replay last week's call if they are having a hiatus due to the holiday. Always remember, folks, to stay plugged in for company news and announcements through your email. your mobile Touch 365 app, or from your upline support. Now, we have coming up, maybe not, but be ready for it. It's the Team Success Force call at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Central Time. Dial this pinless number. Again, no pin is needed. Just dial 563-999-5283. And you can hear the replay at 605-313-5112, and there's a pin number to the replay. That pin is 621-640#. Now today, this concludes our announcements, and be sure to listen to Dr. Chris Coakley on The Winners Win, and they did a corporate corner, and in the back office, don't you just love our company? They have a video of the compensation plan breakdown, helping us all understand why being a team builder is really the top position with so little to do, but we have to have the freedom to have the confidence to say, I'm going to tell somebody about what I do by inviting them to an event or inviting them to listen to a call. So again, this concludes our announcements for today. And remember these words from actor Dr. Morgan Freeman, a proud American. The best way to guarantee a loss is to quit. And when you quit, you literally hand your freedom away. This is Cynthia Reed.
And Ken Reed in Muncie, Indiana.
So glad to have you on the line. And y'all get out there and marinate those ribs. God bless.